Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and pumpkin connoisseurs. Bill here with B&S Giant Pumpkins. We've had an interesting past 2 weeks. Did not make a video last week basically because it was raining, and every time I tried to go out it was raining and pouring. We had about 4 days of rain, about 3 inches of rain, and just didn't get to it. Got busy. So we're making an update this week, and this one is not going to be too fantabulous. We've had a lot of death and devastation. But we'll go through it and just take a look and see what we got. We do have, we got one good pumpkin going still. Keep our fingers crossed and knock on wood. So stand by one and we will get through this week's update. All right guys, we'll start with the house patch like always. That is my pull apparatus to pull the pumpkin. Just hook it through under the fence with a come along, mill fabric, and we slide her forward. This is our 1886. This was Norm last year. This year it is Ace. I got to put his blanket on him, I see. It blew off. A little windy. Good looking fruit. Good looking plant. Can't complain. The plant is filling in nicely. We've done pretty good as far as disease control and all that good stuff on this plant. As you know, the main comes out and down through here and curves around, and a lot of secondaries. I mean, they're popping off everywhere on this plant, off this main. This is the main that comes off. It was a secondary behind the pumpkin, and they're getting ready to cross right here. So we got plenty of growth. Got a little space. I'm gonna let this this secondary go on back around again, and I'll cut these little secondaries off when they get a little longer. And the main's gonna truck on around through here and back yonder. I might even peel some of this stuff off so it can keep going and get that walk board out of there. We'll figure that out. We'll take a look at the fruit. I think she is day 37. I have not taped it today, but yesterday it was taping about 800 pounds. It is a fairly substantial fruit. Can't even really see it. Let me back out a little bit here. Oops, wrong way. Fairly substantial fruit. She is starting to get a little color other than white. If you look here in the blossom end here, she's getting a little bit of orange, like peach orange color. You get that on there. Got my little pieces of tape where I measured everything. Get this back. The stem looks good. No splits. Nothing there. I think I'm gonna have to pull it again. It's got a little bend in it. It has a bend in it just naturally from how it was turned, but that's back about 1 inch, so I'll have to pull that. Not a whole lot to say. This is Ace, like I said, and it might turn out to be our ace in the hole. I mean, it's gonna have to, because we're struggling this year. Last year we got three decent fruit to the scale with no complications. Well, nothing major. This year we're struggling to get one. So we'll take a look at the next fruit. We'll look at the scale fruit. One more thing before I leave here. I just looked at it when I was walking away. You see that water bottle there? How that's all leaned out. I set those water bottles up, well, at least one on this one, every night, and it's pushing pretty good today. I set it up about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch away from it, and she's leaning, so that's always a good sign, right? We should surpass 1,000 pounds, hopefully a little more than that by day 40. That's the goal, if we can keep the fruit. Now we'll go out and look at the scale patch. All right, the scale fruit looking pretty good. Got her heavy equipment out here. Looks like my little man was digging a hole. That's okay though. Plant, we finally got this plant going. It's grown considerably since the last video. Get some secondaries going off here. Fruit health or plant health is doing pretty good. I figured one thing out was right about 3 foot off the main all the way through there. I had emitters clogged up in my drip tape. So I had like a 5 foot by, I don't know, 16 foot area that wasn't getting enough water, which was causing all of my problems with plant growth. The fruit was pulling all the juices. So we got that corrected, and Then we also got 3 inches of rain, so that helped out a little bit. This grow tip is awful small and kind of, I mean, they're growing, but not great. Like I said, there's some burn spots. I was dry feeding because it was raining so much. I was going under and tossing stuff up under the plant, and I got some on the leaves. There's some burn spots on some of these leaves here. But other than that, it looks good. Fruit. Look at that big top end hanging over top of that. I mean, that's got to be creating some pressure. This fruit is, well, I know it picked up 20 pounds since yesterday evening because I looked at it this morning. Picked up 20 pounds overnight. But there is a complication with this fruit. And it is a fruit ending complication. She's a good looking fruit though. I mean, sounds solid. Everything looks good back here. But this big dip and all this weight laying up here on the front created us a complication. I taped it up last night just to see if it gained weight today. Guess I can turn this fan off maybe. Don't really need it anymore. Maybe not. Well, we'll just leave the fan on. So right here, guys. I guess you've seen that tape in there. So yesterday morning I came out, checked everything out. Everything was good. Came about an hour later to reset my watering system up. I always check the blossom end every time I come out. And all I can figure is well, obviously it's really thin in that blossom end right now. And all that weight sitting down trying to come down has split the blossom end. So this pumpkin's done. It's around 800 pounds as well. So we lost her 2560. This was Stanley. Part of me is like, I'm just going to leave the tape on there and see how much it gains, just to see if it continues to grow. Keep the air out. But I know it's done. It's even if it would get any measurable size, it's still not going to be eligible to compete in a competition. So my next hopeful, this is sad, but right there, if it even develops. And that thing, shoot, that's at least 10 days out if it even develops. I mean, I am getting flowers and everything else, but that's my next female. So yeah, we might get a porch pumpkin off this plant this year if we can get one to come out to pollinate. But very disheartening. Very disheartening. We're not even done with the disheartening part yet. So we'll go look at patch number 3. All right, here we are, patch number 3. The 2069 looks like a war zone. I pulled all that plant out last time. Set a pumpkin. Obviously it aborted. It aborted because of this. This was my new main. And, you know, I thought maybe there is squash vine or something in there, you know, some borers. So I went ahead and started splitting it. I split it all the way down through here. I mean, all the way, every knuckle where it was leaking. Didn't find one squash vine borer. Didn't find anything. It's just wherever you set a pumpkin, like I set that pumpkin right there. And when you do that, for some reason, on this plant, for whatever disease it's got, it will instantly start foaming at all the nodes, knuckles, whatever you're gonna call them. And it just goes all the way down until it gets to the pumpkin. So I cut it off right here. And there's one pollinated out there on the end of this little ribbon here. I see one out there I might try to pollinate too. We'll find, we might. And I pollinated another one. So desperate at least getting a pumpkin that I cut the fence down. And I literally cut the fence down right here. It's on the ground because this was all wrapped up in it, standing straight up in the air like that one right there. But it had a nice looking pumpkin to pollinate. Do I think it's going to make anything? Probably not, because I'm sure the disease will start coming out and fall out and catch this one too. But where's he at here? I pollinated another one this morning. Heck with it. Right there. So I got 2 pollinations on this morning. And yeah, that's it. I pulled all resources from this pumpkin. last week when I saw it foaming up again. Let's see here. We'll just walk right out here. We're not too concerned. But this is where I cut it off after that 350-pound fruit. And it dried up nice, closed up, had it all looking good. And then it starts doing this stuff right here. Soft. Oh, sorry. All soft at every node. And it done that. Well, it done a couple, then it quit. Then it really started bad down there where after I set this pumpkin. So whatever, if it's pulling too much juice or if it's just a disease, I don't know. But there she is. This has not been a good year for me. This is not even close to a good year. Like I said, we have one good fruit left, and kind of narrows our odds down on getting something substantial. But by golly, we're not giving up. Even with a plant looking like this, I'm not giving up. This plant is going to grow wild. I'm not going to do anything as far as trimming or maintenance. I figure whatever I can keep alive will stay alive. I did pull all the resources though, all the fans, all the electric, all the watering system out. I do have some totes over I can fill up and just run them like by hand and spray them, or put a water out here and let it go back and forth. But for right now, it's just gonna chill like this for today anyways. I'm not gonna fool with it. It's hot, that's another thing. I know everybody's suffering with weather and everything else, but it's hotter than a fritter. I think heat index was 113 yesterday. It's supposed to be 110 today here in Ohio. And between the storms, the weather, and that's across the United States, everybody's had it. So I hope everybody the best. Hopefully we can get this one last pumpkin to the scale, or at least get her to the end. And happy growing, guys. Thanks for watching.